Hello everyone, I'm Christine Gibson, a member of the church family at Christ Church in Ilkley. As we're all aware, we're living in unusual and unfamiliar times. Structures have changed or have become non-existent. So with that in mind, I wonder how many of you have had a pyjama day yet? That's something when you just don't bother to get properly dressed because you know you're not going to see anyone outside of your home, so it doesn't really matter. I haven't had a full day yet, but most of our lockdown time has been spent wearing round-the-house clothing. In your honour today, I am wearing a brand new t-shirt bought to support the National Health Service, as you can see from the stripes. And I've even put on a little bit of makeup. For most of us, how we project ourselves is important, be it our appearance or our personality or even our mental health. That all adds up to the outer self, the outside person, and we sometimes think that that's all that matters. However, our spiritual life is about taking care of our inner self, the one that really is of very great importance. When I was a child, it was a custom to have an autograph album, not necessarily for famous stars to write their name in, but for friends and family to contribute something to remember them by. And this one is mine. My father wrote in it a passage from the letter to the Philippians, and this is it. It's Philippians 4 verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. I like to think that this was his way of offering guidance to me for my future inner life. Now, families and close social gatherings or groupings are important in helping us to develop our characters, to shape our outward and inward appearance, and just make us the people we are. For some of us, these groupings are nearby and close. For others, they are spread around. But with all of them, there's a tie that binds us together as a team. In our services at Christ Church today, we're thinking about togetherness as Christians, united through our friendship with God and our effectiveness in the world. It's our family identity, where we can learn from and give to each other. The Apostle Paul talks about faith being like running a race, pushing onwards with all our might and our strength. But if it was a relay race, it would also involve passing on the baton smoothly. It would be about sharing the gospel with friends around us and preparing the next generation to hand it on to. Some time ago, my granddaughters gave me a book to write in, and it was entitled, Grandma, Tell Me About Yourself. In it are questions for me to answer, questions about my forebears and my life in the olden days, and I've completed some of it. We also have a new grandson in Kent, some distance away. Because we're unable to see him at present, I'm writing letters to him about our life here in lockdown, for him to read when he's older. I'm telling him about ourselves and our family members, ones that he may never see or meet, as well as passing on things about the past, and one of those being my father's autograph book offering. We can have a family in church too, who guide and support us, however old or young we are. And we thank God for each other, just as Paul did for his Christian followers. Indeed, the letter to the Philippians begins like this. I thank my God for you every time I think of you, and every time I pray for you, I pray with joy because of the way in which you have helped me in the work of the gospel from the very first day until now. And so I am sure that God, who began his good work in you, will carry it on until the day it is finished, on the day of Christ Jesus. You are always in my heart, and so it is only right for me to feel as I do about you. For you have all shared with me in this privilege that God has given me, both now that I am in prison and also while I was free to defend the gospel and establish it firmly. God is my witness that I tell the truth when I say that my deep feeling for you all comes from the heart of Christ Jesus himself. Early Christians focused on love and support for each other. The apostles acted as wise fathers, handing on knowledge. Some women, it is said, offered financial support as well as lives of example to others. Slaves continued to serve, etc. While it appeared ideal or possibly perfect at the beginning, later, as with all families, they had disagreements. But like any football team, in order to work well together, they recognise that they need a good captain, a good leader. They recognised Jesus as captain of the team, as the father, mother figure, handing down good advice. They saw Paul as the wise family member who strove to hold them together in difficult times. The church family has many gifts on offer within it, and there are close groupings like any other family who especially encourage one another in difficult times. As days go by when life is unfamiliar and may feel hopeless, let's try to dwell on the God-given gifts we can both give and receive as his friend and part of his family. Like Paul, let's give thanks for them and for each other. Amen.